Hi, I'm Jeff Doyle. Welcome to this episode of Tracking 200. I'm up in New Hampshire today. It's November 23rd. We've got snow on the ground. It's extremely cold today. And I've been up since 3:30, driving the roads, looking for a nice buck track. If you followed episode 4, you know that I put on a lot of miles. Actually 11.6 miles, and one of the big problems episode 4 was that I didn't cut a good buck track. So since about 6:30, when it started to get light, I've been cruising these snow-covered roads looking to score a big buck track, and I'd just about given up. I was actually headed back. I was going to try to go in and check on a beech nut ridge. I got a tip from my dad. He thought they might be on the beech nuts today, and I just looked at the map on the phone. I said, hey, there's one more road. I've never been down there. Let me take a stroll, take a cruise down that road. And so what I spotted here is the kind of track that gets me excited. Just heading down this road, and what you can see is that I've stepped here already. But I'll step into the woods a little bit, and it is crunchy. All right, that's one of the things I'm going to have to contend with today, is the crunchiness of the snow. But what I've been doing over the past 2 days is paying super close attention to the radar, coming into the woods and not knowing how to age a track with respect to what have the snow conditions been like the day before that, in the middle of the night. That puts you at a big disadvantage. Now, if you've been up to camp, it might be different because you've been in the woods day after day. But this is the kind of track that I'm willing to take right now. I'll move the camera over here. Okay, so this track looks nothing more. It's nothing. Doesn't look much more like anything than just an old track. But there's a few details that stand out to me. One is it's a big track. I can already tell that based on the width, okay, and the stride. But what you can see is that it's broken through the crust, right? So yesterday it rained, which means yesterday, if this track had been here already, it would be melted out a lot. And I'm going to show you another detail that tells me it hasn't been melted out. The other is, if it was made before the rain, it wouldn't be so sharp on the edges for the crust. Now, it snowed about maybe 9 p.m. to midnight, and that's what this fresh powder is. So that lets me know that this track was made sometime between noon yesterday, all right, and when the snow fell close to midnight, which puts it at less than a day old. And on November 23rd, that's the kind of buck I can catch up to. Now, whether or not I can do it on this crunchy stuff could be another story. Some feeding sign on these mushrooms. I've seen it where a buck in the Adirondacks was standing on its hind legs and getting them up higher than I could reach. So there's a fork in the road. I got two tracks that look almost identical, going different directions, and they were in the same trail, so it makes it a little hard to figure out which one was the original one. Although I think, just based on consistency of direction, this is a new track. It's also pretty fresh. I'll put it in the GPS and be something I can come back to if I need to, but right now it doesn't look any bigger. It might be a little fresher, but not any bigger than the other track. Feeding sign all over in here. I got running tracks, so either I wasn't careful enough and I jumped them, or a buck has come in and jumped at the water bed. This deer I jumped, he just came to a walk. Came up here to watch for me. Didn't see me, so turned around. It's walking this way. Just pull it on another deer. That deer blowing at me like that, that's not because it smelled me. That's because it doesn't know what I am. And it's uncomfortable. But if I can make it think I'm a deer, I might be able to get within sight of it. I followed the track long enough at this point that I'm deciding it's not the track for me. So it's about 2:30 and I jumped ship on that other place. I just wasn't seeing a big track that I was looking for. There's a ton of old tracks in this hardwoods here. I'm a few hundred yards up above a logging cut. I'm not sure which year it was, but probably within the last 10. So I think some of this deer traffic is probably coming up on the mountain and then heading down into that cut. None of this is fresh yet, but I think just based on the amount, I'm going to get into some fresh stuff here pretty quickly. Well, I was wrong. I didn't cut a fresh track, even though there's a ton of old tracks around here. So kind of a last-ditch effort. I'm going to turn the corner on that cut. I'm going to make a wide swing out around the corner of it. Go down beside it. Stay off of it probably about 400 yards. And see if we can cut anything down low. Maybe these deer have just moved off the mountain at this point and they're down a little bit lower. So we'll see. Well, sun's going down. Looks like that's going to wrap up this episode of Tracking 200. Busted my butt today trying to get onto a big fresh track. Just didn't happen. You got to really put on a lot of miles out here, and those bucks are few and far between. So I'll keep at it. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit like. If you haven't yet, subscribe. And if you enjoyed the series, go ahead and share it on your social media platform. I'd appreciate it. We'll see you on the trail.